Hello and welcome back to Creating a Studio Together. It is our 6th Friday together. Now, on the calendar it would be 7, but there was a little bit of a glitch on January 29th. So if you didn't see a video that day, well, we played it again the next Friday. So to remind you, you can always go back and see these videos on the Touchtown app under Art. So welcome back. Glad it's Friday again. It's been beautiful out the later part of this week with lots of sun. Things are getting better. So today's topic is all about bringing light into your studio. So here I am today in a different space. This is my private practice. It is in Monroe, Wisconsin, and it's about a room that's about, I'd say it's about 12 by 14, maybe that size. And so I'm going to show you a bunch of different light in my studio here today, or in my office space. And the reason why I'm making it here today, because I wanted to show you some things in the dark. We're talking about light, and in my little tiny studio at home, I'm really right next to the window and all of this natural light. Don't have curtains on my windows, and so it makes it very difficult to film and show you different forms of light if I'm doing that during the daytime. So here I am in my office with no windows, and I thought, that's the place I'll record today. So when you think about bringing light into your studio, it can have two functions. So it can have three functions, I guess, many functions. But the first is, of course, to provide you light to work by. And I do not like fluorescent lights, but that's what I have above me here. It is in most professional settings, most commercial settings. So that's what we're going to find around Oakwood if we're out in common spaces or in studio spaces as well. I prefer natural lighting and I prefer soft white lighting, but that can be hard to come by unless you provide that yourself. So having the right lighting is really key to being able to see. As I'm aging, my eyes are getting more challenged, and it's really hard for me to see my art making. So I know that that is really key. Then there's another function I think light serves in our studios, and that is fun and personality. And so today I'm going to show you some different ways to bring that fun into your space. And it can be done really simply, even when we think, where am I going to find a fun and funky lamp? So the third, I think, would be beyond functionality, beyond fun, is really an artistic purpose, an artistic style. So I want to show you some of the lamps that I have. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, but I used to have a studio, a community studio, Primitive Soul Art Studio, and it was 1,300 square feet. So I had tons of lighting in there, lamps of all sorts. And now I have 2 lamps left over from those days of Primitive Soul Art Studio in my tiny little art therapy space here. So I want to show them to you quick, and then I want to get back to bringing fun into your space. So here's the first lamp. And again, it's soft white lighting. It's a small lamp. I love when all the overhead lights are off and that is on. The other lamp I brought from my old days of my studio is this one over here. And that is a little turtle lamp. The turtle shell lights up, and it provides a really fun and nice lighting for my space here, and reminds me of those old days of the work that I did at Primitive Soul Art Studio. So want to show you some of the other fun ideas I have today. And so one is simply a children's nightlight. And so this is a fun little nightlight. You like cute things, I've just lit it up. I'm going to turn the lights off so I can show you these lights with the lights darkened a bit. Okay, so hold on a second. Okay, so hopefully you can still see me, and you can. And so there is my owl light lit up. This one has a timer of 10 minutes, so really great for, just having some fun in your studio with that. The other, I'm so impressed by all the creative people in my life and everywhere. So I have a sister who's so creative. She can take anything and make it into something really special and unique. So one of the things she uses sometimes is a glass jar. Here's an old glass jar. I think there were probably mushrooms or pickles of some sort in it. And what she has done is made these outstandingly beautiful jars with a fairy inside. I hope you can see that really, really clearly. So there's a fairy inside. She caught the fairy herself in her garden. It was flying around. No, I'm just kidding. She didn't. But there's a silhouette, a little cardboard silhouette of a fairy in there. And she's taken the jar, covered it in tissue paper, white tissue paper on the inside, and white glitter on the outside, added this beautiful flower, has a fun, colorful yellow lid, and then added the fairy and the tea light, the battery operated tea light inside, which you can get at the dollar store, 3 of them for $1, I believe, or you can buy them anywhere. They're pretty cheap at the dollar store. Here's another one she's made. You can see the fairy inside, beautiful. So if you have children in your life, or if you were once a lover of fairies, or maybe even Peter Pan, you might love to make something like this. That can be fun in your studio. And a great way, especially when lamps can be very expensive, especially art lamps can be very expensive. She probably spent about $3 in total and more in time on that than anything. This is a fun lamp I bought last year. I wanted to talk about the 50th anniversary of the landing on the moon, the United States landing on the moon. And so I bought this moonlight, and I'll show you, it's really cool. Lights up. Not only does it light up white, it lights up. I hope you can see, it comes across on the camera here. It lights up in blue, red, orange, all different colors, and I can set it to change different colors. And without my glasses on, I'm not going to be able to make that happen. Oh, here we go. So it will just continually, I don't like that one so much, but there's a smooth transition one where it will transition from one color to the next. I often like the blue. So that's a very fun light. A lot of times you can find so many lamps and fun things like that on Amazon. If you don't like shopping on Amazon, you can find some fun lamps in specialty stores here in Madison. Then here's another one. Farm and Fleet at Christmas time carries some fun educational Smithsonian things. And this lamp has jellyfish in it. Now you can see they move around like jellyfish. They're not jellyfish, but boy, sometimes people think, are those jellyfish in there? So that's a really fun light to bring into my space as well. Then I've always dreamed of having these as a therapist. So they're blocks. They have a piece of plexiglass, colored plexiglass in them. And when you use them on a light table or put light behind them, then the color really, that translucent color really comes through. So that can be really fun to just create sculptures. Again, this was I think $16 a box of these, 16 of them or $20 on Amazon. So just very fun things you can bring into your space. Then I want to show you how cool this is. So I'm going to shut off all the lights, and you're going to see my studio here, my space, by Blacklight. Again, Blacklight purchased on Amazon. I think it was $12, $15, something like that. And it works so wonderfully when I'm working with art therapy clients to transform my space here, and then also for us to work through some pretty tough issues through the art of color and glowing objects or glowing media, as well as those things we paint in the dark, in the black light, not being able to be seen in the full light. So I've got these really amazing black light pigments that I'm going to show you. And when you paint with them with the paint medium in the natural light or in the overhead light, things are clear. When you turn off the light, you end up with some really cool effects. So I'm going to first try to grab a painting really quick that I did. Then I'm going to hit the lights, and I'm going to show you what these pigments do when the lights are off, when the black light is on. So hold tight for just a second. I'm going to grab my painting, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a black light on, and I have these colors here, and you might be able to see them. I've got a little flashlight. It's going to charge them up. You can see them. They're going to start to glow. So these pigments let me do some really fun things. You can see they're not glowing very much. Charge them up a little bit with my flashlight. And now they have that power of glow. Now, if you look behind me on the shelf here, you're going to see I have some things that light up in this room. And if I were wearing something fun today, but I'm wearing black, I would be glowing too. So this could be a really, really fun thing to do in your space as well, if you have a black light and if you want to experiment with different colors. And here is that painting. It's pretty, you can see I've drawn on it. I've drawn the painting. It's a self-painting. And then I've added the colors to a mixed, a medium, which is a very clear, glossy medium. And then this is what I get in the black light and when I charge it up with my flashlight. So many different effects that I can make happen with that. Okay, I'm going to turn the lights back on and I am going to show you another way to bring light into your space. So I've noticed something. I like to promote Amazon and Target and places like that. And I realized I should be getting some kind of, I should be getting promoted by them. But that's not the case. So I do a lot of shopping at Target because they seem to have a lot of this brand, Home Essential, Room Essentials. They have a lot of fun things that you might not expect to find. And lighting is one of them. So in the lamp section, they have a lot of fun, funky lights, from lava lamps to neon lights to all kinds of things. This light here was about $6 and it has a cord. So that's the fun thing about some of this lighting. You don't have to install it. It doesn't have to be installed by an electrician or someone who knows what they're doing. This can just be attached around something with this. It's like a tennis shoe string cord. And then here it is lit up. So I've got a button on the front. And so that can, hang a few of these in your space, like here on the box. And you end up with a really cool functional light and artistic looking light in your space. So those are just a few examples of how you can bring fun lighting into your space. Now, you might not be interested in fun lighting, but I challenge you. How can you bring some fun lighting into your tiny studio space? Or how can you play with the idea of light, reflecting light? I know someone who uses mirrors to do that. I have a long string of mirrors hanging from my ceiling that someone once gave me here in this space. So how can you use mirror to reflect light and play with that color in your space? The other way to bring light, a different kind of light into our space, is to make positive notes to ourselves. So if you have a piece of paper or if you have a Post-it pad, Post-it notes are great because they've got that sticky back on them, that'll let you stick them up. I'd like you today, your challenge is to write something fantastic about yourself, something true about yourself that you have a hard time remembering and believing, because it's hard for us to think positive about ourselves sometimes. So today I am going to write. What am I going to write? I know what I'm going, because this is true. When I believe in myself, when I give myself credit, when I am having a good day, and some of my good days are the days I record these videos because I'm reminded of this. And it surprises me because most days I sit around thinking, I have no ideas. I don't know where to even begin. So I'm going to write this message to myself. I'm going to share it with each of you. And then when I get home to my little tiny studio, I am going to put it on the wall. And I'm going to add other notes as we go through the weeks. So my note to myself is, you are endlessly creative. Like all of those people who inspire me, like my sister who can take anything old and make something new out of it. I am endlessly creative as well. And I just have to believe that. When I believe that, I can get started and do anything. So bring some light into your space. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you soon.